Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to Patty's Performance Weekly Live. There is no surprise, but for some people, it still is. Now, for the most part, it's every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We're missing somebody, but don't worry. Your better half, your favorite half, your only half, the working bee, is here for you. So, I have a million and one things to do. So the reason why I have a million and one things to do is probably only the reason why I'm continuously, religiously on top. You guys seen the community post? So all is well. It's just a little stepping stone on the mountain of work that I would like to accomplish and get done. Thank God. The starter on her car is mounted right on top between the motor and the transmission. It's right there. You don't have to crawl underneath the car. God, thank God. You don't have to take it. You have to take the intake apart and stuff like that, but it's very, very simple. It's literally staring at you right in the face. If you didn't want to, if you wanted to squeeze here and there, you don't probably have to take anything apart, but the intake's a couple of bolts. It's very simple to do. I was going through her receipts this morning, and I think this is the second or third starter that we put in there. The first time I did the starter for her, I actually did it in the parking lot of a shopping center. And the only reason why I did it is we didn't have free towing at the time, and she was going food shopping because we were all going to go to the beach. You know, my parents, my sister, and everyone. So I did it right then and there. I'm like, let's just bang this out real quick. And then she drove home, drove to the beach with it. So that's how simple and easy it is to do. Being that we have an older fleet, one of them would be Mandingo, who has its Kirks. He is very tough. He is a 96. So, and then the other one before that, that was a 97. So it was a smart decision for us to get free towing. We definitely have gotten our money's worth out of it. If you think about it, the Honda's been towed, I think once. Her car has been towed twice, because that's right, she had the fuel pump, and then she had a starter, then she had this, and then has Mandingo been towed? I don't remember if Mandingo's been towed. I know the other truck we had before that, that was been towed twice. So one was a fuel sending unit issue, and we had a electrical issue with that. So that was pretty simple, pretty easy. So the reason I'm a little bit stressed out is I am getting, I would say, a nice mower job lot. I don't know how many mowers are going to be in it, but one of them is a Toro Turfmaster. So I am going to take all of everything they're going to give me just because I'm getting the Toro Turfmaster. I was told it needs a motor. I believe them. This guy who's giving it to me knows exactly what he's doing. So he's just low on time, space, and patience. So I'm going to try and inherit that. Got a couple of repairs to chase as well. And this Sunday, I'm heading to the city because I found a new motor for my Time Master. My Time Master is good and healthy, but I want to play some games with some motor swaps, and I'll put that on the channel. The reason why I'm playing the motor swap game. There's nothing wrong with my Time Master. There's nothing wrong with the motor I'm going to be putting on there. Like I've these past couple of years, I've always had more good decks than motors. Now this year I have an excess of motors and a low amount of decks. So this past week and the week and a half, I've been nothing but grinding. I haven't been really buying anything. I've just been taking care of repairs that are coming in and working on clearing out my project pile in lieu of getting this new project pile coming in. I have no idea how many mowers are in there. I didn't want to ask. So that's that. So that is my Saturday morning. I was up early because my mind can't rest if I have a million and one things to do. The advanced auto that's closest to us opens up at 7:30 in the morning. So I wanted to call them, make sure they have the starter in sale, her camshaft sensor is leaking oil, the gasket's no good, so I want to make sure they have that and still, because I would pull everything out, bring it to them because everything's covered under warranty, and just keep going and move on. And 7:30 ring, I've been calling them up until now, and they haven't picked up. So it is what it is. So let's go to the chat. Let's see what's going on. Good morning, Henry. How are you? Yeah, I was up early, so I dropped the bomb on that. I didn't set the 8 o'clock time stamp. I just set the live stream. I'm supposed to set the clock. I forgot all about that. But you guys are smart enough. We've been doing this long enough that you guys know what time, our live starts, unlike other people. Good morning, Mando. How are you? If your ears weren't ringing this week, then you need to get your hearing checked, because we were really talking you up a lot. I'm thinking about making a video on this, or maybe mentioning it on the channel. But I don't claim to know or be the master of anything and everything. So I asked for help or advice. I know Ellis Mowers chimed in.
Look who decided to join us.
So anyway, Ellis Mowers, you're late. Don't interrupt me. So anyway, so Ellis Mowers actually chimed in to kind of give some valuable insight or answers. I think I asked a phenomenal question, and almost nobody had the answers to my question. All they kept doing was knocking my post and knocking me, saying a bunch of stuff, and it just absolutely made no sense. I was tempted to delete the post, but I was saying that there are other people out there that do things my way and are doing just well, and you were one of them. So I definitely talked you up a lot. So if your ears are ringing, that was definitely because of me for sure. Good morning, Henry. How are you? It is early. You must have soccer or some sort, but glad to have you here. Hope all is well.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Martini. How are you? Holy crap, Henry is awake. Absolutely.
Yes.
Something must have woke him up. Good morning, Dan from Canada. Canada. How are you? KD, how you doing? Hope all is well. Steven Mustang 5-1 stick. Good morning, Long Island. Absolutely. So I absolutely probably know where you're from, because 516 is an area code here. So I guess you can't answer the channel rules. The channel rules are where you're from and do you get snow. So obviously you're from Long Island. You do get snow if it happens. Remember, we had a drought for 2 years, and I would say Long Island for sure. If you want to say what town you're in, that's entirely up to you, but we understand. Good morning, Paul. How are you? Hope you had a wonderful week. Ours has been a little up and down, but we are always pressing forward. What happens in the past stays in the past, and tomorrow is always a new day.
And Paul, if you notice, you still are getting birthday wishes, so
yes.
Check out your post.
Yes, you are. Thank you, Mr. B. Mr. B is a fantastic guy. He was digging deep. A lot of people were digging deep through our channel this week, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bruce Pender, Bruce's shop, dug up an old video. That was pretty cool. So I'm glad to see you guys going through the Pat Taste Performance time machine.
It's also pretty neat to see the evolution of filming.
How things have changed from what originally Pat Taste Performance was before even Pat Taste Performance existed, to what it started out, to what our genre is now.
And still growing.
Yes, it is still evolving. It is still evolving.
We are no Steven Spielberg just yet.
Good morning, Jamie O. Hello, how are you?
No,
Is Long Island on fire or flooding because Henry is awake?
No, he just knows where the good stuff is at. He's had an awakening.
So Henry has to be up early for a few things. I would say something happened, soccer.
Hopefully nothing bad happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus,
or he must have a sale, because I couldn't think of any other reason that he would be up.
Something tells me he's not scheduling a sale at this time, because it's not his normal time. I'm going to go for Kit. Trust me, I raised a 14 to 24-year-old. This is the time they like to schedule practices at. I did the whole football scene back in the day. And Henry, catch up on all my videos now. You can comment and chat. Now you got time at practice. So I'm expecting nothing but big things from you. Now you got all the time in the world.
So that's what we've been doing. I think Sunday's upload.
And Henry, I can answer this one. They do this. Do you want to know why they do this? They do this because it's a stipend. It's contractual through the teachers' unions. So this is when actually the coaches feel they have the rest of their day. And number two, they believe that now you can have the rest of your day with your children. And anyone who's raised a teenager knows they don't want the rest of their day with you. They want to do practice. They want you to bring them home if they're still not driving yet. And I'm sure Henry's counting down the moments till she can drive herself. And at the end of the day, they're out. They don't want nothing to do with them. So they schedule these practices early so you can have family time. Kids don't want family time with their parents in high school, trust me.
So this Sunday's upload almost didn't happen, but we're on pace to have it uploaded. So it's definitely, we're going to be seeking some advice. We are in difference, but we'll see. I mean, do you want to talk about it? Do you want to give away the content, or you just want to?
I'll be honest with you. We've got so much. And you know what, guys? If there is a line, how there's certain things that you just rub you the wrong way. I love anyone in the chat and anyone who's listening right now who hasn't said hello. I can't stand when you tears say, I've got so much content, I don't know what to do with it. But
we did until I deleted it all.
But the truth is, can I ask which content we're referring to? Because
the lawn track.
I'll be honest with you, there is so much other shish that we've got content for that I just so the one that I'm not fond of.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say
hello.
Lion Tribe, can you please Lion Tribe? One of my best friends is Trini, and it irks the you-know-what out of me that apparently my husband thinks by just working with individuals who can speak Rasta that it's rubbed off. When I tell my best friend this of almost 40 years, she cringes inside. We went to a co-ed baby shower once, and they had him on film speaking Rasta.
She lives in a bubble.
You do not speak Rasta by working with Rasta.
I know a few words.
Lion Tribe, save us.
So I work in a melting pot, and she lives in a bubble. So we all have our.
I teach in a melting pot, and my friends.
Talking anything.
My friends are so much more melting pot than yours.
Say hello to him.
I don't believe that I should be speaking something that my friends aren't.
So then you don't know how to.
That's what my friends are. That's not what I am. So you don't work in
a melting pot.
And she's a lovely combination. She's Trini and she's Thai, which is like, I think it's a stunning combination. Any hoodles. So I'm sorry. You want to talk about what do you want? I don't want to give away certain things. So what do you want to
Do you want to give away? You don't want to give it away. I don't care. At this point, it's up to you.
Well,
we're indifferent.
I don't have a lot of listen, I do have a lot of nice things to say about the tractor. I just particularly think you're pulling you pulled the wrong business move with this. So is that what we're speaking on, or?
Now we're going to speak about it. Please tell me how I pulled the wrong business.
And I don't mean this in any disrespect
go ahead.
at all.
Spill the beans. You started. Go ahead.
Listen,
finish.
Bottom line is I don't disrespect you with business transactions. I just give my feedback as someone who's a strong business leader myself.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, any feedback I give you is just because it makes the team stronger.
Okay.
If you had caught our last after party, was that when we were talking about baggers, right?
Potentially.
If
I was having a good time. So,
again,
I have to rewatch that.
So at the end of the day, at our after party, we were talking about baggers with Eagle.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, we're talking about baggers. And personally, in this particular area, the reason why Pache's Performance is bringing in high value for our tractors so early in the game is not only because our tractors, sorry for anyone in the chat, our tractors just look better than the other tractors that are getting posted out there. They also have baggers. Our write-ups are absolutely impeccable, but also the baggers are bringing the girls to the yard. And this week we had a comment made by not one, but now two people who inquired about our tractor and said, basically, and of course, it bothers me when people ask, like, is there a bagger? Well, if there was a bagger, first of all, it would be in the picture and it would be stated in the ad. So I kind of want to say, like, when you see an ad with this many lineup of picture and also an ad well written like this, at the end of the day, please, like, obviously we would include the bagger. So please don't ask if there's one. But the bottom line is, I think the biggest party foul we made purchasing this particular tractor, I know my husband like the back of this, like the back of my hand. He got itchy. He wanted to get the next tractor in. He saw this. He saw a good deal. He saw a quick flip. He saw, boom, dollar signs, let me go get it. I'm not denying it was a great deal. He made it look stellar. But the bottom line is, it didn't have, you know what, Scott, I love you all day, every day, but I got to tell you, first of all, the tires make it look impeccable when he paints them the way he does. And I got to tell you, other people are coming and posting now. I just spotted another seller here in the area who are also doing the same. So you know what? To me, imitation's flattery. And at the end of the day, it's what's selling. Scott, when you prove to me that his machines aren't selling for top dollar more so than the other flippers, I hate that word, by the way, resellers in the area, then you know what, Scott? Then you and I can have a parlay all day long. But the bottom line is, Pate's Performance is selling better, harder, and for more value. And that's not an insult to anyone else. It's just the truth. So at the end of the day, my beef with this particular tractor, and I'm going to tell you the reason it hasn't sold in the amount of time Pate's Performance typically sells tractors, is because it doesn't have any bells and whistles besides the tractor. No attachments, no bagger. It's sitting here. Trust me, I do my homework. There's people, I'm not going to say names, who have tractors that have been sitting forever. You want to know why? If you do your Craigslist homework, your OfferUp homework, your Facebook Marketplace homework, you want to know whose tractors are still sitting? It's the ones without the baggers. It's the ones who look like a POS. It's the ones who have a shoddy write-up. I'm telling you right now, if there's one thing that I learned in my side business that I've been doing now for almost 20 years, it's know your inventory, know your market. And I'm going to tell you right now, at the end of the day, people are not selling tractors without baggers as quickly as we are selling our tractors with attachments or baggers with the Pate Performance twist. So I gave the mister a possibility of selling his tractor faster. I gave him an opportunity.
Let me keep going.
I gave him an option to sell this tractor faster. And that was, Henry, I want to see your wife do a car clean.
Hold on.
At the end of the day, I want to see him. He picked up a spreader that is by Craftsman that literally looks like it could go, like it was meant to be for this tractor. He got a phenomenal deal. If there's one thing this man can do, I mean, guys, look at the last tractor we sold. Check out that video. I mean, free Brindley attachments. Look what he did to them. They looked pristine. If there's anything this man can do, he can spot a deal. He can take something from 0 to 100 and he can make it look incredible, and he can truly bring the value out of things. And he took that tractor value from here to sky's the limit. We did incredible. We set the bar higher for all the other flippers in this area. And I'd like to have someone tell me different on that one. Because you know what? After we sold that last tractor for $1,500, I saw other flippers in the area selling for $1,500. That wasn't done before. So he's setting the bar higher for everyone else. At the end of the day, I believe he puts this spreader on the back of this tractor. It looks like it came with this machine. This society that we live in that's buying tractors right now, they're going to see an attachment. This spreader can also be used as a cart. There's a way you can absolutely cut it off so it could be used as a cart. I say 190% we will sell that tractor. And I believe at the end of the day, when you put something out into the universe like that, you have to be willing to say you were wrong too. I told him, we gave your way a chance. It's been almost a week. This Sunday will be a week, either this Saturday or Sunday, a week with nothing attached to that tractor. I say we've got nothing to lose but to add that attachment to it. He wants to add it to the package that's going to go with the next tractor. I believe since we have a Thatcher, we have a cart, we have attachments already with the other tractor. That other tractor is going to fetch top dollar. We're also going to be setting the bar, and we're going to set an industry standard for Long Island for this next sale. Sorry, guys in the chat, we're going to blow you out the water with the next sale and this next tractor.
We hope so.
No.
Nothing is promised.
I'm putting that out in the universe because you know what? Good people, good karma. You know what? At the end of the day, you reap the rewards of that hard work. He's going to make it happen. I know it. We're going to make it happen. We're a team. At the end of the day, I say this extra spreader is useless for the next tractor. Put it with this one. Let's get the deal done. People just like to see more. If you saw our after party, Bald Eagle, phenomenal channel. He was on there and I agree with him. It's like buying a car. People want bells and whistles, even if they're not going to use them. People want the extra cups, cup holders. People want the extra bells and whistles in a car, even if they don't have a clue at the end of the day what they're used for. So it's the same with a tractor. These people at the end of the day are going to want this additional attachment, and it's better than not having anything. And we're going to raise the price a little bit for our efforts and that attachment, and this is going to sell. Mark my words. And I want to answer this, Henry, it's not motivation. Motivation, if anyone's familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk, I believed in him. I've been watching him for probably the last 15 years. Motivation's garbage. Henry,
I love motivation.
No, it's not. Motivation doesn't get you out of bed in the morning. Motivation doesn't get, no, it doesn't. You know what gets you out of bed? Inertia, hard work, drive, the want to be the better than everybody else.
So what's the difference between drive and motivation?
Motivation, you've got to work up the energy to get it done. You've got to sit there and you've got to sit there in bed and you've got to do that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get yourself out and get the job done. Motivation is just the desire to. Hard work is the getting it done. I believe in hard work. This man is hard work all day long. I'm hard work all day long.
But I'm motivated, I feel.
By hard work. By money, by hard work, by goals, by skills. The need to, whether you want to believe it or not, to be the better in this industry than everyone else. That's just like my industry. I don't want to be bottom of the mill. I want to be better than everyone else, but not in that in-your-face way. I want to be the best at what I do in my industry so people can look and say, wow, she's been doing this for over 20 years. I've been in my career for over 20 years, my side business for 18. I almost have a doctorate now. And you know what? Young people who are entering my field, they look at me and they say, look at her, working harder than the people who are just going into it. And a lot of people know what we do now. I have a third business, I feel like, doing what I do with him. We work harder than people half of our age.
All right, can I speak now?
And now, so I'm curious.
Let's go back. So Bill Martini had issues with somebody meeting at his meetup location, and that's what we do too. So we try not to sell out of our home. There's only 2 things we have to sell out of our home as of right now: lawn tractors and pressure washers. Other than that, everything is not sold out of the home. Except you guys seen some battery-powered equipment or some corded electric equipment that I really haven't put on the channel. I don't go out and buy that stuff, but it's there. I'll just take it. Why not? It's free money. Or while I'm there, why not? I mean, you're already there, and you know you're not going to go anywhere. So if it's an extra $20, $10 that you're going to make from doing absolutely nothing, I'm a big fan of that. If people do not want to meet up the startup location, then I'll just sit there and say, okay, well, you know, if you go online, they sit there and say that that's the best thing to do, right? You're a stranger, I'm a stranger, we meet in a public open place. If they still feel uncomfortable, I know our town does it because we go to the meetings. They actually have a designated area where you can meet and you guys can and it's on video camera and it's a safe location. So then you know what? Offer that then. All right, if you don't feel safe meeting in a parking lot, how about we meet at a local police station or a firehouse? There's another flipper that I meet with that we're very good friends after 3 to 4 years. We have each other's phone numbers. We got his son a gift. We still meet at a firehouse every time. And it's funny. He knows everything about me. I know everything about him. Yeah. But we still meet at a firehouse. And that's just the way it is. Okay? And I met another gentleman a couple years ago. We met at a firehouse too. That's just the way it was. And he felt safer. And we didn't know about this local, we didn't know that they have a designated area until we went to our local community meetings and they actually said, hey, listen, there's a certain part of the precinct, certain part of the parking lot. There's signs there. There's cameras there. Both of you guys meet there. Everything is safe. Everything is recorded and it's good to go. So you could offer people that.
Oh, mowers and blowers outdone, Rich.
So then you could also sit there and say, hey, listen, you're a stranger. I'm a stranger. I don't like strangers at my home. So there's that. We had an instance where I'm not upset or aggravated with our lawn tractor that we had a locked in time and everything for the guy to come to the house to buy the lawn tractor. He didn't show up. And then he messaged me later on, oh, I bought another lawn tractor. Oh, you mother. But still, I just don't want this guy to have our address. Even if he didn't go buy another lawn tractor, now this guy has our address and he thinks he could pop up anytime he wants because we've had that before. And then he might be catching me in the Taste Performance Act. And I don't want to do that either. So, yes, I think so. This Sunday might be the last day. When did I post the lawn tractor sale with the new blades? Monday or Tuesday? So you might have 24
to 40. It was Sunday.
Yeah, so no, because the blades came in Monday or
Monday. Oh, so now we're including that now. You're really stretching because the average person's not going to look at the updated ad as being something extra special. I really think you should stick. First of all, the mister told me out last Sunday, Christina, Monday we'll post it with the cart. Then all of a sudden it went to, I'm going to post it with the new blades today. I'm going to update the ad. And then we went all week long. Guys and gals, please do me a favor. At the end of the day, stop making this about men versus women. I can do better than you can do. Please, when you're working with your partner, a brother, a sister in this game, just please realize and have your eyes on the prize that you're working together. I don't care if we end up selling this with or without an attachment. I just want to get the job done. That's the way I roll. Get the job done. And I feel like at the end of the day, when you've got a tractor listed for almost a week, you've got it listed for a week too long. I'm sorry to offend anyone in the chat who's had tractors for listed or equipment listed for longer than that.
Wait, we've had stuff listed for over 4 months.
But don't I sit there and it irks the you-know-what out of me? Like, I can't believe we've had it for, and there's certain things.
That's what happens.
Snow blowers are one thing. I get that.
Which I
got to be honest, we're selling those.
What's up, Rob? We had mowers sit. Remember we spoke about, I haven't put up selling posts in a while. We're still selling. I'm just busy. So we had rain. Was it last week? Yeah, we had rain last week. And I'm like, out of nowhere, the messages were pinging. And we sold a lot of heavy hitters. We had a lawnmower that was sitting for 4 months that went out the door. We had a rototiller that was sitting for 4 months out the door. And that's what we like about the rain sometimes. People sit inside, they got nothing to do. They go on, they start shopping. And that's exactly what happened. Sometimes things turn quick and easy, and sometimes they sit. But when they sit, you either have two choices. You can either lower your price or continue to hold and wait for the right buyer. And, for us, because we're so busy, I don't dwell on stuff like that. I just wait for the right buyer. And if I choose to negotiate, I won't. That rototiller, we sat for 4 or 5 months. I sold that thing for full asking price for $350. I'm not budging on that. Remember, due to COVID, or whatever you want to call this stuff, garbage, crap, woo, flu, coof, okay? Everything's going up in price. So why can't you adjust your prices, right? That's stupid. I wouldn't say that's stupid. That rototiller, to me, I don't use that much, right? That's $500-600 item. So why would I try and sell it for a steal of a deal because you've been sitting on it? That's a niche machine for a niche market. And when somebody wants to take that, they're going to pay up for it because, man, I'm going to spend $500-600 for one time a year? No. So they're going to buy that little small compact machine, use it, stick it in their garage or shop for the one thing they need it for once a year and continue to use it. because tilling or anything by hand is not a fun thing. There is, I feel, an increase in people trying to do gardening and stuff on their own is coming back on the rise. I see a lot of advertisements for people, and even on Facebook, people bragging that they're doing like those raised garden beds and doing all this type of stuff. So all those little things, they need to till, they need to do whatever. That little rototiller right there is pretty valuable, because even tilling a lot by work, I still think people are lazy, that they're not gonna go there and do the manual way. They'd rather just get a tiller and go on. So that's how I feel about that. Those heavy hitting lawnmowers, same thing too. I mean, those are niche machines. Those are people that want that machine, and they're gonna have to pay up for it. I have a gentleman here that he messaged me about a month ago, and we just could not agree. And he was trying to corner me into some sort of guarantee or warranty. And the answer is absolutely not, because he cracked my code. I do not do that. There is no guarantee. There's no warranty. If I choose to do something outside after you sell it, that's on my own accord, which you guys have seen that I've done here on the channel. But I'm not going to go out, sit there and say, yes, I'm going to do it. So he says, you know what? I'm just going to go buy a brand new machine. A month later, he messages me. And he says that there is a shortage. So he cannot buy a brand new lawnmower. So I'm still holding out, because I just don't like how our correspondence has been. It's been friendly. It's only been through emails and texting. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been any verbal yet, but he hasn't tried to corner me. But based on our past conversation, trying to corner me, I just don't feel comfortable. I have the right as a seller to sell to you or not, just like he has the right to buy something from me. So I'm honestly willing to take a little bit less to avoid him, and then really try and drive home like, hey man, you know what, listen, I'm sorry I didn't get to this message. I sold the mower. So now he missed it on the first lawnmower. He missed on the second lawnmower. This is gonna be the third lawnmower that he missed out. So what are we driving the point to him? That maybe his angles, maybe his mentality is wrong. But ours is, or our product is, or our methods are fine. Because you can go online and you could see people posting things about other things, but you won't see anything about us.
Yeah, and I mentioned that on the live. There's one thing, and I see a lot of guys talking in the chat about free, and I just mentioned something. Free is great as long as, and I'm gonna say this again, free is great as long as it's properly fixed and resold. Okay. We only sell quality flips at Pat Taste Performance. Some people may disagree. Scotty, I'm saying this because I love you, baby. Scotty doesn't love the painted wheels. But at the end of the day, it's what sells. At the end of the day, some people love free. But you want to know something? I'm seeing, and this is New York. I can only speak about New York and Long Island. I'm starting to see some of our fellow flippers and some of their equipment showing up back on the Craigslist, the OfferUp. And I'm saying to myself, hold on. I just saw a fellow flipper just to put that up for sale. Why is it up for sale again? You want to know whose equipment's I'm not seeing for sale again? Is Scotty. This is where I'm glad that we had the Pat Taste Performance spin on things, because you can spot our equipment all day long.
What about them? I'll give away content. We bought a lawnmower. I almost got beat up over it. I crap you not. So you guys know COVID, or whatever you want to call this stuff, put a lot of people in an uncomfortable, unknowing, unquestionable position.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Well, Mick said something, and I want to reassure him. Mick, baby, I know you put out quality, baby. I'm talking about New York. You got to see some of our fellow friends and what they're putting up for sale and showing up for sale again overnight.
So let me finish. So this guy, in the middle of all of this, when it first happened, whatever you want to call it, right? A lot of people
can't always blame the
had
buyer.
to get rid of the landscaper. A lot of people had to be introduced to lawnmowers and other lawn maintenance items for the first time, because they never even considered it. And with that came a lot of issues on our end too. It was a blessing and a curse. But you guys seen how we handled it. And it's upsetting to see that other people who do what we do didn't. They didn't honor this unwritten law, unwritten code. They just went to go do, whatever. So anyway, so I seen a lawnmower for sale for a good price. And I says, I'll take it. Go to meet up with him. And he said, not running for parts or for scrap. So I thought that was a pretty interesting ad. So I went there, and the guy seemed, really, and the first words out of his mouth is, are you sure you're handy that you think you could fix this? So I says, yeah, I'll take a look at it. I beat him up on the price. So then I was like, yeah, I fix it. I'm mechanically, inclined. And then he says, well, the person who sold it to me was mechanically inclined, and I bought it, and he was bragging to me how this person does this, and he does this, that, and third. It didn't make the second pass. He bought it, took it home, went one pass down his yard, second pass down his yard, the mower conked out. Calls the guy up and says, hey, what's going on? The mower guy told him, oh, you know what? Something must have happened. I don't know, clean the car. Like, what? What? No. That's not how that works. That's an unwritten law, especially in the middle of COVID. This guy's buying a used lawnmower because he had to fire his landscaper, and he's not financially stable enough to carry him through this whole pandemic because nobody knew what was going on. So then the guy was like, I just bought this from you. And he's like, and the guy hung up on him. So he got really upset, really, really aggravated, parked the mower in his shed for a week, comes back out. And then he said the fuel line started to leak. Gives the guy a call back again. He says, hey man, listen, not only does I come back out, and now, that's a $3 part. Just replace it. The guy's like, I bought this lawnmower with the intention that this thing was gonna run. And you said that you told me that this is what you do. So then, he started saying some other things. So I says, listen, all right, you know what? My wife and I have a YouTube channel. I show people how to fix, flip, and repair these machines. How much did you pay for this lawnmower? I will pay you whatever you paid for this lawnmower. So the financial end of this deal, you don't lose out on it. You're going to break even. You're just going to have to go with your mental stress or duress. And then that's when things started to turn ugly. He thought that maybe I worked in cahoots with the person who sold it to him, and I had to take a step back and say, hey, So that lawnmower will be on the channel at a certain point. I'm just playing catch up with everything else. So that's how I feel about certain people and certain things, whether you pay for it or you get things for free. I mean, listen, you sell something, it doesn't make the first or second pass. I mean, man up, own up. I know we talk about as is on certain things, but it's one thing if you buy something running as is, and then you do a couple things to it, paint it, make it look pretty, service it, the whole line. If you start making repairs and this lawnmower or this machine burns you out, and you're like, maybe this thing will get by. All right, you sell it, but in your heart, in your mind, that if something happens at a certain amount of time, because of that, maybe you got to man up. You got to take care of that. You have to. You have to. You
it
sell
makes you a better man or a better woman to man up.
You sell a machine that's a little hinky, and that hinky becomes a problem. You got to man up and do that. That's to me. That I really hate that. That's a ripoff to me. That's how I feel. That's just me personally. So sometimes, for us, free is not something we come across lately, and that's why we have to pay for our machines, and I'm okay with that. It makes things a little bit more exciting when we pay for things. And don't forget, we're paying up for lawn tractors so we don't get stuck or hampered down with some sort of collection, because we just don't have the space for that. And right now, I'm not sure if Henry's been seeing the market, but this past week, this past weekend and this past week was straight up fire. Me, Nick from Bellport, 5 Speed Ash, we've been pinging each other consistently for days. There are so many good tractor deals out there, running, mowing, that you all you have to do is pay for them, service them, clean them up, take better pictures, and sell them for a profit. But we're maxed out at 2. 5 Speed Ash bought 2, and he thinks that the mower season is done and he doesn't want to bother. Nick from Bellport's tapped out. So he doesn't have any more space. So there's a lot.
Henry
of
has
good
to
deals
go,
out
so I
there.
want to address his comment. Henry, you're saying you're seeing a lot of people doing what we do to our machines. I have to say,
That's fine. We don't get upset.
But here's the thing. No, I want to actually say that is actually not as true as you're saying. I watch all the selling sites very fairly.
Bill Martini's copy.
But here's the thing, Henry, here's how I know. Let me finish because he's got to go. I know this is not accurate because we also document the machines that we sell very carefully. So even if there was one that comes up that I'm not sure if it's ours or not, the mister's going to know right away because we document our sales. So we're going to know the difference between someone reselling one of ours and whether it's ours or not. The bottom line is, guys and girls, it's okay if you make a boo-boo. You have a oopsie. You sell something that wasn't its best. You should have made sure before it went out the door is the bottom line, but accidents do happen. The bottom line is try your best not to. Try to always push out quality. And the one thing, like I'm saying, that I love about this man, I know he always feels like, even though we don't sell everything from home, he always feels like it's got his name on it. And I have to say, anything that he is pushing out, he was going to sell something the other day, and he could have really, that backpack blower.
Yeah.
He could have rigged, I don't know what words you guys like to use, but he could have rigged this backpack blower to somehow, some way.
A bolt broke.
This was a decent sale.
Talk about F.
He literally turned around.
How, I don't know.
And he was like, Chris, he says, I'm canceling the sale. And I was like, you know what? You're doing the right thing.
I got to repair it right. I'm not going to try and jury right.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing. It's just how we do here.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's how, what we're talking about. Yeah. So people copying us, I don't care. That's part of YouTube, right? I'm not hostile like other people when people think they're copying one another. It is what it is. I mean, other manufacturers copy other manufacturers. Do they start a smear campaign? Yeah. No.
Lion Tribe says you need a sticker. You know what, Lion Tribe?
It's a compliment.
It's a
I feel
imitation's flattery. That there's a famous line.
And we're not talking negative, right?
Not at all.
We're allowed to do that. That's the purpose of this channel, right? We're here to empower you.
Absolutely.
We're here to push you. So when Bill Martini does something, 5-Speed Ash does something, there's two other flippers that do something. One other flipper actually reached out to me, and then I said, dude, I can't talk to you because you copy me word for word, picture for picture, like the whole line. That to me is not cool.
Yeah.
You can do it, that's okay. But just like, I don't have the option to interact with you. Yeah. So that's what I did. And then I found out I decided to entertain him a little bit. And then I found out through conversation, he's friends with another flipper who threw me under the bus. And I actually was tempted to go to his house. He actually posted up a good deal for something. Go there, give him a piece of my mind, knock him out, and then take the piece of equipment and leave him the money for it. But I decided not to do that. Yeah. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, and as far as doing a sticker on our machines, like we're not going to do that to like make a
sticker.
Repairs. No. Lion
There's
Tribe means like an identifier. Yeah. So you know what, Lion Tribe? Again, this is not. You have to have confidence, not cockiness. And the bottom line is, I know our equipment. I know this man. Trust me. We've talked before. He has me come out sometimes. Like, Chris, does this match this color? He probably puts in more work than he needs to on certain machines.
It is what it is.
I have to tell you, we don't call him Bob Ross for nothing.
Mullet Ross.
I have to tell you.
Paint Can Picasso.
If you haven't checked out a Netflix special, the one on Bob Ross, do it. The man took pride in his work. Totally sidebar. So does he. He really loves what he does. He wants things. When he sits there, he's taking his pictures of the equipment when it's done. He has a lot of pride in what he does. I have a lot of pride in what I do in my career. Guys and gals, if you don't have a lot of pride in what you do every day, maybe you're in the wrong profession. Maybe you're doing the wrong thing, because you've got to put effort into what you do to love what you do. Someone once told me that if you're not putting effort into what you do, you might not love what you do. I want to believe that as much as he'll say to me, Chris, I have so much on my plate, I don't know what to do. He had a meltdown the other night. I felt like I was at work. I felt like I was with the kids for a minute, and he needed to have his meltdown. But you want to know something? He had his meltdown because he takes a lot of time doing the things that he does. And it takes him a lot of time to do what he loves to do because it's what he's great at. So at the end of the day, think, just some food for thought. Are you doing what you love to do? Because you'll put the effort into the things you love to do. And MC Engineering,
Craig, I can't say this. Craig hasn't been here in a while, but Craig's been very, very busy.
And we like that.
There are two
Busy's
people.
good.
There are two people that I absolutely love on Instagram.
Yeah.
A lot of us are on Instagram. I don't care if you follow us on Instagram. You must follow Craig at MCM Engineering.
You said that for so long.
You must follow KCB. I think he changed his name to Zombie Mowers now.
Yes, he was up here. He was
you
in
need
here.
to follow those two people on Instagram.
Mhm.
And then if you want to choose those two, you must follow. If you like anything shiny, making things from scratch, thinking outside the box. Craig does dabble in some small engines. He has a couple of older machines he likes to tinker with. You gotta check out Craig from that. I cannot say this more than enough.
Talented.
What Craig posts just tickles my fancy. That's it. And that's just because I like playing with metal. I like fixing things. He's got to be on there. And in KCB and Zombie Mowers, once you follow his Instagram, there's no other descriptions. You're just going to be shocked and awed.
Yeah.
So let's go.
And Craig, I have, as the Mr. Knows, a memory like a steel trap. You've mentioned karma
have fun.
before.
Good luck.
And Thomas was in here before. Thomas, good morning. Craig, karma is what this channel, I like to say hard work, doing the right thing, paying it forward, but karma, this house sets on karma. This house lays on karma. The Mr. Knows, like, I don't have any tattoos or anything, but something tells me, like, if it wasn't something for my mother, we'd have karma tattoos. Like, we're such firm believers in doing the right thing. The universe plays it forward. You don't expect anything because it's just what you should do. Mm-hmm. So maybe put that all together. Find something you love to do. You'll work hard at it. You won't feel like you worked a day in your life when it's something and don't get it twisted. You won't feel like you worked a day in your life when you find something you love to do, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be hard days. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have days where you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't balance it all. Consider that a blessing. So many people would love to be you, love to have all that equipment to fix, love to be selling all the things you're selling. It's a good problem to have. And at the end of the day, if you can rest your roles all on good karma, paying it forward, doing the right thing, being a good person, life works itself out in a really good way. But it also doesn't mean there won't be some rough patches. We've definitely experienced those. But you know what? You put your big boy pants on, your big girl panties on, and you get through it. So just keep plugging forward. Rob Jr. makes
so
a
here
great
you go.
comment.
So Rob Jr., another local person to Long Island. Okay, so I'll repeat myself for people that are joining in the chat and new. Okay, during COVID, we broke every rule. We broke every warranty rule, and that's only because of what we were talking about, what happened with this last time.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what to do or don't have any concept because they've never done this before, outside stresses, the whole line. We had a lot of warranty work, which we discussed back in the channel, and we took it all back at no charge. Even if it was their fault, that is what we did. Now, all of our scenarios were two things. Okay, we don't sell out of our home, and nobody's coming in some big glorified pickup truck, box truck. Everybody was folding handles and putting the mower into their car.
Just doing the best that they could do.
Now, my ignorance was I didn't show them because I never had this problem to a certain extent, is that when they unfold the handles, that cable came out, the bail cable, the brake zone cable came out or something got unhooked and they put it back together and it wouldn't align. Or some machines, some mowers, right, they didn't put the handles back on correctly. So the bail cable didn't have correct tension. And then they also put in bad gas. Oh man, I have a gas can. How long has that gas been sitting in that gas can? A couple of years, okay? That's fine. And I only told them when this happened, you only make this mistake once, it's okay. Now you learn something. That's a teaching moment, okay? So now you taught somebody something new, they can teach somebody else something new. And then also take the good fortune that we showed turn their frounder day upside down,
Mhm.
and potentially pass it on to somebody else. That's how we felt during COVID.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward to where we are now,
Mhm.
not so much, but speak on this comment. We'll talk about it. You guys know we love our Craftsman Platinum lawnmowers. I met a gentleman a couple months ago early on in the season, hated his landscaper, fired him. Said, screw this, I'm going to do this on my own. The machine was a solid machine. This is one of our favorite Platinums because it has the one lever that does all 4 wheels.
Mhm.
This thing had every bell and whistle that we like, a whole high and head, besides electric start. 2 or 3 days later, he messaged me and says, hey man, the lawnmower broke. And he said, my son hit a rock and the blade doesn't spin with the mower anymore. So I says, okay. I says, don't get upset with your son. Don't be upset. He was a really, really nice guy. So I says, listen, bring the mower by. I'll take a look at it for you. If you want to pay for the part, I will handle the labor. If the mower can't be fixed, it can't be fixed. Because he was such a nice guy, because he was whatever, I just got that good vibe from him. I would have taken a motor off a running mower, charged him just for the motor, no labor, and put it on there for him. So then he says, well, what do you think the issue is? I says, oh, it's this thing called the blade adapter. And I sent him the part. He's like, oh, I could replace that myself. Okay, never heard back from him. But I would have taken that back. No problem. Put a blade adapter on there, charged him the $20 or $25. You want to make a little bit of money on it, nothing crazy. And then you make him where he feels happy and he goes forward. Now, there are some people that are rude and disrespectful right off the bat. You will get nothing out of me because that will not get anything out of you. Now, it depends on the certain situation because I know things are a little bit stressful. I might curtail to you. But if you're going to come and attack me off a Jump Street, then you're not getting anything out of me. It's all about attitude. If you want to give respect, I'll give you respect back.
Attitude and approach.
Yes.
It's with everything in life.
Approach. There have been certain people that have been rip-roaring mad and, sorry, use that as is, so forth, because I don't feel comfortable meeting with this person or having this person have my address now because they have a hot temper or uncontrollable,
And I have to tell you, that goes for everything
mantra.
with me. Yesterday, as you saw in our community post, I had to have
You can take that.
the Ultima towed. There was a woman her car was blocking where the tow truck needed to go. We're okay on time. There's only a few more.
Mm-hmm.
And the tow truck driver said he literally needed this car to move out of the way. So one woman moved. The other woman was giving a difficult time. So bottom line was, I waited. He waited, the tow truck driver. So finally, she started getting an attitude. So I looked at her and I said, I tried to ask you to move. Now the tow truck's going to block you in. Everything in life, I will give you the shirt off my back. I will be as kind as I possibly can. It was the way I was raised. My mother was an angel. Literally, I swear to goodness, that woman's feet probably didn't touch the floor. I look back on it now. I was the luckiest girl in the world to be raised by the woman that I was. But at the end of the day, you have got to approach people a certain way. Whether you're buying something as a flipper or you're buying something as to own it, even if you are just living in the world, please talk to people a certain way. Please approach people a certain way. Whether it's family, spouses, whoever, approach people a certain way. You will get, what's the famous saying? You'll attract more bees with honey than vinegar. It works, trust me. I wanted to get down here. There were a few comments that really caught my eye. Mowers and Blowers Outdone says, us real flippers in my area, we do sell to each other. I do have one or two that buy and sell. They do not fix anything. No.
All right, so for us, there are
not here.
Two flippers I will buy from. Actually, one guy I haven't seen in a while. He's an older gentleman. I have his address. I'm always tempted to knock on his
Just
door.
to make sure he's okay.
He sells things, fit and finish, for a really good price. All I have to do is buy it and put my name behind it and sell for more money. I'll be honest with you. I'm okay with admitting that.
And he knew what
I
you
actually
were doing too.
got
right?
2 tips from him out of that. And I will never, those will take me to my grave with me from him, or when we make some crazy amount of YouTube money, or we have a baby and we don't need any of this stuff no more to the extent that we need it, I'll reveal his 2 secrets. Okay, there's another flipper.
One of them was
Yep.
a classic one.
I will buy from him. I will buy from him, but I know certain things he likes to do Frankenmowers and a few things here and there. So I need to be careful what I buy from him. But he's still a good guy. He's that guy who I bought all those lawnmowers from COVID. I filled up the truck. Still a great guy, still a great family. I just wrote off another flipper last week. He mistaked my kindness for weakness, and we're done. I didn't even bother confronting him about it because he's smart. He knew what he did. And I ended up turning a negative into a positive. And I took that mower that he sold me that was supposed to be good, and I used it to fix another lawnmower. And I ended up selling that mower. Had a mower sitting in my project pile for 2 years. I used his lawnmower to take that project mower, and I sold that project mower within less than 48 hours. So I got rid of 2 mowers from my project pile because of him. So yes, negative into positive. But that's it. I'm very seldom in dealing with other flippers. You guys seen on my other channel, right? I mean, on this channel, I bought a lawnmower. I bought a lawnmower off another flipper who advertised it fully serviced, ready to go, and it was at a good price. And what happened when we took it home? That was not the case. No. And it is what it is, right? What are you gonna do? Yeah. So so I'm very, very wary. I try not to do that. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. There are machines I don't want to fix, or I just don't have the time to fix. I put them up for sale. I have a different account. You guys won't even know who is who. I take different photos, the whole line, and I sell it. $20, $25, $10, and that's it. That's it. Because I got rid of a bunch of equipment. 5-Speed Ash takes all my scrap equipment.
Is your name Ricky Bobby?
and he's tapped out.
We should do that. The Ricky Bobby account.
I just put it out there for sale. Whatever I make, I make. If I don't make anything, I don't make anything. But that's what I do.
I hear you. Hey, fun things to do with Tech Sparky.
As well,
yeah, you and the missus. Okay, David's saying hello. I wanted to get down to, Lion Tribe. He says, I take pride in everything I do, whether it's cutting grass, washing a car, or rebuilding an engine. I'm new to the lawn and garden arena, but I take care of my equipment the same way. And amen. That's what you need to do. My mother, listen.
Oh, I think it's the guy.
Many of us, he'll be right back. Many of us, I can't speak for everyone here. I know that my mother's family came over here, specifically from Italy. They had nothing, absolutely nothing, my grandparents. And at the end of the day, everything they had, their home, my grandparents' home was impeccable growing up, impeccable. You could eat off the floor. The cars were well taken care of. The children, they didn't have much, but everything they did have was well taken care of. I think it was a different mentality. I get it was a different time, but growing up, my mother instilled the same in us. We didn't have a lot. We didn't have much at all. My parents worked hard. My mother was the hardest working woman. And it's definitely where I get my work ethic from. She worked harder than my father. That's why if some of you ever in the chat, and I know we joke around sometimes, oh, women this or women get off easier, and I'm a little bit hard-nosed about that. I run 3 businesses, 2 businesses, and I have a career. I almost have a doctorate. I'm well educated. I also help him run this business. And my mother was a hardworking woman. And at the end of the day, I take a little offense when someone says that women don't work incredibly hard. There is nothing that this man, the mister, couldn't ask me to do that I wouldn't step up to the plate and help him with. And I haven't helped him with. I run this business equally as much. He just can do things I can't do. But like Lion Tribe says, taking pride in what you do.
That costs nothing.
That costs nothing. And I believe that old school way of thinking, I'm saying the way that our grandparents were raised, they appreciated everything that they had. So they took good care of everything that they had.
My father bought and sold like Lionel toy trains, at trade shows before eBay became like a really popular thing. He used to buy stuff at a discount at a trade show, put it on eBay. My father also bought trains that needed some work, and he would solder things, make things work, paint them, and resell them for a profit.
But we're not talking about that, honey. We're talking about like your house, your cars, upkeeping those things in your life so that it all looks impeccable.
If you
The
have a
Mr.
nice
knows.
lawn, that'll bring your home up like 10
When it
steps.
comes to our home, he knows. He considers it nagging. Here's the thing.
Our biggest downside to
never
our
thought-
home is our driveway. It looks like crap. When we redid our driveway, if you go
It
through
looks
our
great.
channel,
And
that was the best our house
it's
ever
funny.
looked.
He took a picture of the lawn the other day, and I am actually considering, because I know we're going to be soon enough doing work to the house. But you know what? I don't think we'd have to do all the crack filling like majorly again. I'm considering like maybe just like putting the coat on again because it just looks so good just for now. But you know what? Just taking some pride in what you have. I got to be honest with you. I never thought, just because of, surviving so much, losing my family, having cancer, all those things, I never thought I'd see today, and be a homeowner. So when the mister thinks I'm nagging sometimes about wanting to keep, the house tidy and keep up on the cars, yesterday when I saw my Altima going up on the tractor trailer, I'm not going to lie.
Tow truck.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I got tractors on my mind. You know what I did? You guys are going to laugh at me. I looked up at the sky and I said to my mom, well, it's gotten me this far. I love that car. As much as I say I'm ready to move on, I am. She's been with me a long time.
Since 2006.
And but you want to know something? As I wrote to Andy Hamilton, I will tell you this. The dealerships are not willing to give deals right now. They only want to give you the colors that are on the lot. I know we have to fix her, and I have to ride her out a little bit more right now, but I'm ready to move on because I've taken good care of her. He's taken good care of her. Before I met the mister, I took good care of her because you want to know something? You take good care of the things you have. But I now have worked so hard in my life. I'm 20 years into my career. I'm ready to say I've earned something more. But I looked up at the sky yesterday, and I know my mother is probably looking at me to say, Christina, this will pass. Jason will get it up and running. If it can't get up and running,
We would just go out and get another car.
we'll figure it out.
We would be forced to.
But
That's
you
it.
want
It's
to know
no big
something?
deal.
Someone else made a comment here. Lion Tribe, I'm a little bit obsessed. You and your wife, I know people meet more sometimes opposites. I would love to meet you and your wife. You're probably both incredible people. The universe is what balances things out. You can't fight it. Everything moves in circles. And Craig from MC Engineering says, and the Dory rule. Craig, I teach my students this.
I don't know what the Dory rule is.
From Finding Nemo.
No.
Dory in the story, Paul, you have little ones. If they see Nemo, Dory says, you keep on swimming. Guys and gals, no one promised us that this small engine work, life, anything would be easy. But you keep on swimming, like Craig from MC Engineering and Dory says.
Thomas, do all four.
Thomas, do all four.
More is better.
But the bottom line is, you know what's so important too, Lion Tribe, MC Engineering, and Craig, you know what I'm going to add in there? Also, be appreciative for just what you have. As much as it broke my heart to see that car, yesterday, you know what happened? I left work. My car got me to my first errand after work. And then I got in the car, and you want to know something? I knew it was coming. I ran errands last weekend, and I called the mister. And I'll be honest with you, I love him, but he hasn't been very patient with me with it. I told him it was coming. He knew it was coming because my car wouldn't start last weekend either. And then it finally started after 10 minutes. So I've been kind of dealing with this on my own. And I've come to the conclusion, I went to a dealership already once, and they're kind of like, well, this is what we have, and it's about 4 months to get the color you want. So I'm like, you know what? We got to make the Ultima work for right now. But the Ultima is also saying I'm tired. So I've got to figure this out. We've got to figure it out. But the truth is, like, I got frustrated yesterday when I got in the car. My first initial reaction was, dang it. Like, come on. I want to go get home. I want to have dinner with my husband. I'm so tired. I've been at work all day long. But you know what I said? It was a good day at work. I enjoyed my students, my kids. After work, I got to see they had flag football. They're precious. And I'm going home to my husband. We're going to sell a tractor before you know it. Like, life is good. It's going to be fine. And for those of you who were here for our live about 2 weeks ago now, or 3 weeks ago, I got an announcement that day. Guys and gals, I beat out with possible thyroid cancer. Life is so good. So when you're sitting there having any pity parties or like the plates are too many, just remember there's a lot of really good stuff. And you just have to kind of focus on all that. And like, life doesn't throw too much at you that you can't handle, right? Rich says, local area people are not too rich. There is only so much you can get out of some items, no matter how clean. I pick and choose which ones I make shine. Term here is a ditch mower, just cheap mower to mow ditch.
So I have OCD issues, as you guys know, with certain things. So you guys seen, I just like that Troy-Bilt, right? That Troy-Bilt that I put out. I helped out my buddy. He's
Bill,
another
have
flipper.
a good day, honey.
He's another flipper that I would buy from. He just ran out of steam and motivation and time. I trust him. I trust him, and we have a very good relationship outside of what we do. So I overpaid for this lawnmower for $50, and that Troy-Bilt needed a cable, a carb clean, and I think it was missing the air filter cover. It just needed some work, and I wasn't in the profit zone. But listen, he brought the lawnmower to me, and I knew I was helping him out. And he gave it open. If there's any problems, I'll take it back. And I would never do that. So that lawnmower started on one pole, but it looked like crap. So I says, all right, so you know what? Like I say this time and time and again, when you go to clean a machine and you get it wet, that's a good inclination of what this machine will look like once you shine it up and make it look pretty. I took that gamble, and being colorblind sucks. So the end result was I had to strip that down to the bare nothing and redo it. So now it looks as good as it runs. So that's the reason why I had to do it. That Husqvarna video that I just posted, check out Bruce's shop. He made a comment, and I decided to give him the whole bits. But, you know, that lawnmower I got, it is what it is. I already traveled to pick up the lawnmower. I didn't feel like going empty-handed. I'll take the risk. I'll get it going. I did get it going. And I made a bet. I hedged my bet and says, listen, this is people want us whole-wheel drive Husqvarna lawnmower, $200, fully service, ready to mow. Again, ran great. The looks didn't match. And it sat for 4 months until she got that message, and that guy aggravated me. And I pulled the listing. I said, you know what? I'm going to do it my way, and we're going to do it better. And that's just the way it is, because I have issues like that. I don't know what you guys consider a ditch mower, but I know for us that there are mowers that are I don't know what's a cheap mower to you guys. A cheap mower to me is $50. I can't remember the last time I sold a $50 lawnmower. Oh yeah, I have. I sold a couple early on in the season just to get rid of my project pile. I got them running. There was no bag with them.
That's usually like a no bag.
I didn't have enough time.
Fancy.
I just didn't have the time. So I just wanted them out. But there's another lawnmower that I bought. Mixed Mowers had a video on that type of mower, and I bought it. And I knew I wasn't afraid to get it because I watched his videos and his channel, and I knew what would be exactly wrong. Because those motors, we never come across them. I've never seen that before. And, you know, that machine was very, very simple and easy. I pulled the motor off of it, resprayed the deck, kept the wheels yellow, and we sold it for $125.
I was just about to say.
So that's not a bad return on investment. And once you do what we do to the capacity that we do, stripping a lawnmower down in pieces doesn't take a long time. That Troy-Bilt, if I didn't video it, I don't watch paint dry. If I'm painting a mower, I'm doing something else. And that Troy-Bilt, you guys know, yank off the motor, 3 bolts, or blade adapter, yank off the motor, take off the bail cable, take off the cord, set it aside, and that's it. And then obviously to redo the deck that Troy built, that front end and that back end is held on by a series of 3/8 bolts. It takes you longer to find out what those 3/8 bolts are than how they are to take them apart, because you just take your gun and you zip them right out. So that's very simple. The Husqvarna that I just did, I did that in between of other machines, and that's why I was working at night. I'm doing this in my spare time, and I was able to squeeze it in. And as you guys seen, my method with that is that I painted everything that needed to be black first. And then I didn't tape off the deck. I didn't do anything. And then when I needed to paint the deck, it was easier for me to tape off or block the wheelbase and everything I painted black, and I did it in orange. And you guys know how that came out. That came out pretty good. And the reason why I wanted to do that too, because I want to see how that would work if I go to a bigger machine. And you guys know what a bigger machine is, right? So that's another reason why I wanted to do that.
Lion Tribe says, I can usually tell if I want to deal with a person or not based off of the way that they text or email. Yeah, I mean, we always look at someone as a potential customer, of course.
I have to go.
But then obviously, as the texting or messaging goes on, yeah, absolutely. We had sold a tractor once, Lion Tribe, when I think it was one of our first tractors, first or second. You could see it back in either the first or second videos, Lion Tribe, because we documented everything. There was one gentleman, we were already selling a phenomenal tractor and at a great price. And he turned around and he already had offered a lower price. And then he was like, and how many more attachments do you want to give me? Like, it started getting into one of those, how much more? How much more? And it was just so rude. The way he was coming across was just rude. And it was interesting because the Mr. and I are very different that way. Mr.'s a great guy, but he could just, when you get him that way, he could be a little bit more snarky. He'll then tend to be a little bit more sassy. And I don't believe in doing that. I'm not going to send them to some far off place. I'm not going to give them some wacky address. I just don't believe in that. But I turned around and I basically ignored. You're not getting a response from me if you're going to be this sassy. And with that particular tractor, I already had locked in another sale. So at the end of the day, this gentleman wasn't getting anything out of me. What was interesting is I guess he reflected on the way he was. Now, he didn't know if I was a man, woman, whatever. That doesn't even matter. But the next day, now this tractor's already sold, he turned around and he actually wrote back to me. He must have looked back on how he spoke and his wording and the messaging, and he actually apologized. And he said, that he was just trying to get the best deal that he could. So, of course, being the educator that I am, I took that as an opportunity to school him. And I just said to him that the next time that he's looking for a tractor, there's a better way to negotiate with someone. And there's a better way to word things to someone when you're trying to look for more. So he turned around and, there was an exchange of, I accept your apology and best of luck in your search. But it was very interesting because you could tell that this person was used to speaking to people that way. James Lawnmower Man, good morning. I'm glad to see you here. Dick Small Engines, it's great to have you here. Rich, thank you so much. But honestly, I think it was just, I'm lucky to be raised by a good person. So unfortunately, she's no longer here. But you never forget where you came from, right? And it doesn't cost anything to just try to be a good person. And I was just about, you beat me to it. Jason's okay too. He's a good guy. We are opposites attract 1000%, but we are a team. I always tell him, you can't spell team without me. So Lion Tribe, the Ultima. The starter on the Ultima, we keep binders on all the vehicles. The Ultima starter has been replaced. It's a 2006. I have every documentation of everything that's been done to her, but the starter has been replaced now. If we replace it again, and it is under warranty, so woohoo. But this will be either the third or fourth time. And at the end of the day, you know what it is? Ultimas will go on forever and ever, Lion Tribe. at this point, you know, I'm at the point now, Lion Tribe, that yeah, we could keep on doing this. We could keep on just when something goes wrong. But Lion Tribe, the last time we had an issue with her, I run a very successful remediation business. I have some wonderful clientele. And after I leave my daytime career, that's when I'm seeing my clientele. And I'm going from sometimes one place to the next. Sometimes I can work from home. I need something that I can get up and go, that I actually like, that could be my comfortable place. Like I get in my car and I feel good about it. And I don't have to worry about it's going to start. I can sit in there, and that's like, I know you're going to laugh, but like that I feel good getting in it. I love my Ultima. I do. I'm not a girl who needs things above her means, but I actually now at this stage of my life, I have a big birthday coming up. And I've been through a lot in the last many years. And I actually do have a couple of vehicles in mind that are like tickling my fancy, which is not like me at all. And I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to, my Ultima would be great for someone who needs a starter car, maybe a station car, because she's got some cosmetic work now that needs some work done to her. But the interior part, you would never know someone sits in her. She's in great shape. And the Mister has always maintained her. And before that, I had a mechanic who was phenomenal. So, but I'm ready. I'm just ready to move on from her. And I don't mean any hurt to her, as if my Ultima has feelings, but we do think it's the starter, and I believe it's under warranty, and this would possibly be the third or fourth one. So I trust that the Mister knows what he's doing. He is just, if you think this man is great at small engine work, the Mister is as equally talented at working on diesel trucks and smaller vehicles. I mean, I know some people are like, when they marry a dentist, you're set for life. No, when you marry a mechanic, you are set for life. Rich says, I sell non-running riders to other flippers for a minimum of $250. The one guy parts it out. I usually get them for free or pay $50 for them, make 200s easily. Yeah, Rich, I think what it basically comes down to is that in your area, if you find something that works for you, if you have a good rapport with the local flippers, I think it's just really finding what works for you in your area. The Mister really has, you know how we're always talking about finding a good formula? He has a really good formula. He knows what he's looking for. Sometimes I'll find something and he'll say, no, that's a flipper. You know, I want to stay away from that. And so now he's got me, like I know what I'm looking for, which is just fantastic. You know, he's always educating me. That just makes the team stronger. Jamie O, Powers of Prayer, congratulations. Jamie, I have to tell you, I couldn't agree with you more. Listen, I'm not an overly religious woman. After I lost my mother, I lost a little faith in that department. And then I've restored it over the years. But I have to tell you, you know what I'm a strong believer in? The power of good people, the power of the people around you wanting good for you. So that's when I always tell you guys, if there's anything going on in your world, in your life, please let us know. You're never alone, because when I tell you, I include you in my thoughts and my prayers. I so mean it. Life is so much, I say this all the time, especially to those who are a bit younger too, because they kind of need reminders of this. Life is bigger than you and I. Life, there's so much else going on besides us, right? So if we can think about other people, even better. Roger says dealers are taking advantage of customers right now because of their sales selling over MSRP. Roger, that's exactly what the experience seems to be like. My colleague just got a car less than 2 months ago. She literally paid over the MSRP price. She wanted a few extra bells and whistles. And you know when you could usually go to the dealership and say, could you throw in maybe a moonroof? Could you maybe throw in the upgraded mats? You know, I'm just throwing things out there. And it was like, yeah, we could do that. Yeah, no extra cost for that. Oh, a year of oil change, you know, like all the little extras. She said it was such a disheartening experience because it literally was none of the above. And she actually, that was almost 2 months ago now, she had to settle on, I know it seems minuscule, but for someone like me who I haven't wanted much over the years, and I've just been looking forward to upgrading my ride, I know what color I want, and I know what interior I want. You want what you want. You work so hard. You know what I'm saying? She settled. She settled on the color and the interior because it was all they had. They told her if she wanted what she wanted, it was going to be an upgraded cost, and she would have to wait a couple months for them to get it in. So she was in a position of like, couldn't wait. They had kids and things like that. She needed more space, that kind of thing. So at the end of the day, it just seems like what could be I know buying a car is never a fun experience per se, but it took what could have been okay to a crummy situation. Lion Tribe says it's not tired, it's Japanese. Replace the starter, do a tune-up, and make sure the map sensor and any other sensors that control the fuel and spark is on point. Lion Tribe, that's like exactly what we needed to do the last time. Let me take the word we out. I am good for going to pick up these, the starter from Advance Auto, and the Mister does the rest. I will provide him drinks and support and an extra set of hands, but the Mister will provide all the work. So we'll keep you posted on that. Mowers and blowers outdone. When typing long answers, only so many words were allowed in. Yeah, I know, it's a little bit of a stinker. Jason he answered your question, Thomas. I think he said more. The more, the better. David, good morning. How are you? It's good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Roger says, Thomas, he does all the blades. Yeah, thank you so much, Roger, for also answering that. Lion Tribe says, I'm the same way. I'm the lion and my wife is the lamb. She is what balances me and vice versa. Yeah, you need that. In any kind of, I would say a friendship, a marriage, any kind of relationships, you need something that balances you out in life. And trust me, we all have that yin and yang or need for it in our lives, right? We all have our moments, but, I think sometimes, the Mister's had a little bit of a different life. Like I've been before I met the Mister, I was on my own for a very long time. As far as my brother is 12 years younger and I had to raise him, and, I had to fall into parenting and being on my own and having my own place. And, I'm a little bit older than him and just responsibilities. And I deal with a lot more throughout the day. And so at the end of the day, like there comes a time where he gets a little stressed and he needs that little balancing out. And I'm just so happy that, in a way, God chose me to be his yin to his yang, because I think we balance each other out well. And I'm happy to be here for him. Thomas, oh, thank God. I have not stopped thinking about her, and I'm happy to hear the good news. Please let me know how she does now that she's at home. And thank goodness she has your mom and your dad and your family and you. Oh my goodness. Thank God. That's good news. Lion Tribe says, you can call me Dre. I just realized my name sounds silly to read it out loud. Oh my gosh. No, not at all. Actually, Lion Tribe, I have a friend. His name is Dre, but he's D-R-E-Y. So you're just D-R-A-Y. I love your name. No, you're going to laugh. I just read a story with the children yesterday called Chrysanthemum. And it was literally, we talked all about being proud of your name, loving your name, and your name was meant just for you. So Lion Tribe, be proud of your name. Your mom and dad or whoever named you that, they put good thought into that. So you make sure you're proud of it. Everybody should love their name. Let's see here. I just want to make sure I don't miss anyone before we tune out. David says, get a Lincoln. You want to know something? That wasn't one of the types that's in my little, I have a very little short list. I have a couple of others that are in mind. But at the end of the day, I have seen a few of those, and they're very sharp looking. I'll be honest. I do want to go from having just a regular vehicle to now an SUV. Nothing too big. unless, God surprises us with something, and we need a little bit more room. I'm down for that. I mean, I could drive Mandingo, so I think I can handle it. Mowers and Blowers Outdone is going to post a picture of a ditch mower. Oh, that'll be neat. We'll make sure we check that out. And Lion Tribe says, I'm actually Drayton. Did I pronounce it right? Drayton? But don't call me that. That's reserved for my mom and the wife when I'm in trouble. Oh, trust me, the Mr. Jason Anthony. And you better believe that's what he gets called when I need to get his attention. Oh, my goodness, I'll tell you. So Dre it is. But on that note, we have, you know what? Roger, I had thought about that. His parents have had that before. I'm nothing against it. I just felt it was a bit of a bumpy ride. Personally, I'm not as much a fan of it. To each his own, though. The missus is I'm looking to go a little upgraded. I'm ready for it. I've got a big birthday turning around the corner. I've now outbeat cancer, fully beating cancer for 13 years in remission. And now this past summer, skating it for a second time. I'm ready. I'm ready to treat myself to something. Worked hard for it. So I feel like this next one, even if I have to wait a tiny bit, I could wait. Good things come to those who wait, right? But anyway, on this note, keep our fingers crossed. There's maybe a tractor sale happening this weekend. I'm going to be thinking of all of you in the chat. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend, no matter what it is that you're deciding to do, whether it's wrenching, relaxing. We're supposed to have some nice weather once the clouds break here in New York. And again, I want to thank you all for being here, supporting us. We so appreciate that you could have been anywhere today and you spent it with us. That means so much to us every day, every time you check out a video, every time you comment. And remember, you're never, ever alone. You always have Pate's Performance, and we're so grateful for all of you. So remember, if you're not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. If you haven't hit the notification bell, please do. And at the end of the day, if you had an enjoyable time with us, because remember, you chose to be here, give us a little thumbs up on the way out. So pretty please, that would be wonderful. And we will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later. And the mister says thank you as well, I'm sure. He's off on a sail. Later.